Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for Friday, March 10th, 2017. It's currently 7:20 a.m. and we are dealing with a rather impressive setup here over the next several days for winter returning to the region. Currently, temperatures range from the lower to mid 30s over your northern interior. Upper 20s to lower 30s over your northern interior, mid to upper 30s in the New York City metro, and upper 30s to lower 40s in the Philadelphia metro, with winds from the north at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. These winds will increase from the north and northwest to 10 to 20 miles per hour this afternoon as an area of low pressure passes to the south of the region. Periods of rain and snow are moving into the region, gradually changing over to snow for the entire forecast area. Now, the question with the whole forecast comes down to this. It's definitely going to snow, obviously. The question is, how much is actually going to accumulate over the next 5 hours? Is basically we have periods of snow continuing on from now through noon and then tapering off from noon to about 3 p.m. After about 3 p.m., most locations are drying out. The evening rush hour should be fine. But most of your snowfall accumulation is going to happen between the hours of 8 a.m. and noon. So, do we get 3 to 6 inches of snow? Or 1 to 4 inches on some grass and the roadways remain relatively wet? That is basically the whole question to the forecast, and why my forecast is slightly, well, in some cases significantly different than what the National Weather Service has out. On the latest infrared satellite picture, you can see our low pressure system developing over Virginia. This will rapidly intensify to the southeast of Long Island by about noon today, and as it's doing so, precipitation will intensify as a result. We have, as you can see here, some very cold cloud tops developing over the region, but also notice this storm is booking. It is moving very quickly and will be in and out of here in a very short period of time. Another factor to consider when it comes to snowfall totals. So here we are for Friday afternoon. That low pressure system will be rapidly moving off into the Atlantic to the southeast of New England. Periods of snow can be expected, mixing with rain at times over southern New Jersey. Certainly snow is going to be in the air. Again, the whole question here with the forecast comes down to how much is going to accumulate. This is the general forecast from NY and JPA weather. For higher elevations, especially above 700 feet, look for 2 to 6 inches of snow accumulation. Snow will accumulate on the roadways, on the grass, everywhere. So there will be no limitation as far as that respect. The only question is how heavy will the snow be in these locations. Most locations will be in that 2 to 3 inch range, but a few isolated locations can certainly push up to 6 inches, especially the higher elevation that you are. Here is where the wild card is pretty much set up for this forecast. I'm going with 1 to 4 inches on cold surfaces. That's your car tops, trees, grass, vegetation, untreated pavement, for example. All of that would fall under cold surfaces. On your roadways, especially your treated roadways, generally looking at wet roadways, trace to an inch on these roadways. So we'll watch to see how that evolves over the next couple of hours as snow falls. This is a very wet snowfall where whatever does accumulate is pretty much going to be like a clumpy cement, okay? So if you are shoveling this snowfall, certainly use some caution if you are going to be shoveling any of this snowfall. But honestly, I'm not expecting you to have to shovel much of all at all, to be honest with you. Moving forward to the south, over from basically south of Philadelphia, southeastern Pennsylvania, and southern New Jersey, looking at a trace on some cold surfaces, but that is about it. So this storm is going to be moving pretty quickly. We're going to look at high temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. Yep, mid to upper 30s, pretty much what we're seeing now. But also, once the storm leaves, temperatures actually also rebound as well because it is March and we have the March sun. So that is another factor to consider. For this evening, cold air comes in, and let me tell you something. By tomorrow morning, winter is definitely back with lows in the mid-teens. Tomorrow afternoon, scattered cloud cover, highs in the upper 20s to lower 30s with a stiff northwesterly wind leading to wind chills in the single digits and teens at times. On Sunday, high pressure is in control with clear skies expected. Lows in the lower to mid-teens, highs in the upper 20s to lower 30s. It's going to be a brutally cold weekend, once again, much like last weekend. So just be prepared for that. On Monday, high pressure will remain in control with scattered cloud cover, lows in the mid-teens, highs in the mid-30s. Now, Tuesday is where things get interesting, as this low pressure system looks to become the primary low pressure system and rapidly intensify. We are still not certain of the exact storm track here. A track further west along the coast will mean basically rain along the coast and significant snowfall over the interior. A track over what we call the benchmark, which is about here, would lead to a very impressive snowfall along the coastal plain and not so much over the interior. And of course, there's the other option where the storm actually heads to the east-northeast, which basically means snow showers for the region and generally a miss. Right now, most of the model guidance is converging on a significant snowfall on the coastal plain, but the point is a little shift west or east will make a big difference to the forecast, so we'll watch that very carefully. Temperatures on Tuesday range from the upper 20s for lows and mid 30s for highs. On Wednesday, windy but clearing skies with temperatures ranging from the mid 20s for lows and lower to mid 30s for highs. On Thursday, high pressure will be in control with clearing skies, moderating temperatures a bit, lows in the upper teens, highs in the mid to upper 30s. And on Friday, high pressure will be in place with sky cloud cover, lows in the mid-teens, highs in the upper 30s to lower 40s. That is your forecast discussion for today. Thank you for following NY and JPA weather. And as always, stay safe out there.